So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can get your clients to stop canceling their life insurance policies so that you will get less chargebacks and ultimately you can make more money as a life insurance agent. Chargebacks are one of the worst side of the business, and if you do these 3 things, I'm going to share with you how we've done it in our business. We've sold over $9 million of final expense, and it's allowed us to have a retention rate of over 80%, and I promise you, if you do this, you will make more money. So let's talk about how to stop getting chargebacks. When it comes down to getting chargebacks, the reason that people are getting chargebacks is, number one, is that they are not setting clear expectations. Okay? When you're a life insurance agent, if you are getting chargebacks, it is because your expectations are not clear with your client. How do you set clear expectations in your sales process? And that is being over communicated. One thing that you must do as a life insurance agent when you are selling is that you must over communicate what you are getting them to buy. Okay, a lot of chargebacks and placement issues come from not setting clear expectations. What does that look like? And what does that mean as a life insurance agent? That means, number one, Miss Betty, we're going to be very clear on what your payment is every month. Okay, we're going to understand that your policy payment is going to be $61.33 per month. Okay, now second thing that is going to come from that is going to be the date of the payment. Okay, when you're selling life insurance, it's so important that you're clear with Miss Betty. Hey, Miss Betty, your policy is going to come out on the 15th of every month or on the 3rd of every month because I know you're on Social Security. Without a clear payment, without a clear date, the expectations are missed. Also, if you want to get less chargebacks when it comes to expectation, is making sure that you are letting them know, hey, what their policy details are, okay? People will cancel if they've been lied to. A lot of times if you're filling a graded policy or a waiting period policy, it's easy to want to skip around that. But if you are selling the right way and you want to set clear expectations, let them know, hey, my policy is going to come out on this date. The date is going to be this. The payment is going to be this. And here is the exact policy that you have. Now, this all stems from the biggest problem, which is number 2, is your sales process. The number 1 way to stop getting chargebacks comes down to your sales process. How are you actually selling the policy is the biggest thing. So when I'm looking at my placement of my agents, or I'm looking at, hey, why are these clients canceling? I'm listening to the sales call. I'm not diving into the application. I'm not diving into the medical. I'm typically listening to the last 5 minutes of the sales call to understand what went wrong. Okay? And it all ties back to why I use this as not clear expectations. And here's how and I'm going to even give you one of the things that I've used that literally changed our placement in our business, and I'll give it to you in a second, that you can add right now into your sales script. Okay, so how do you fix your sales problem? It's all about, number 1, put this here. Number 1, how are you moving into the app? Okay, moving app. Okay, why is that so important? Okay, when you sell a policy, and your client has an objection, how are you moving into the app? Does it sound like this, or does it sound like this? Ms. Betty tells you, I'm just going to go ahead and think about it. And then then the agent sounds like this. Okay, yeah, no worries. Well, you have plenty of time to think about it. Most of our clients do think about it because there's a 30-day free look period. And in that 30-day look period, what we can do is get you approved first, and then we can look over your policy, and if you don't want it, we can actually cancel it. Does that sound fair? And then they're considering that to be a sale when they use what's called approval language, okay? Approval language will be the death of your business and was the death of my business in the first 3 months as a life insurance agent. Approval language closes are the worst closes that you could ever use as a life insurance agent. Why is that? Approval close, what you do is because they have an objection. Why do we use the approval close? It's because we don't know how to get through the objection, and this video will help you understand that, okay? What does that mean? If someone says, I need to think about it, and you just sell them the product, do they still have concerns? Yeah, they do. They have concerns about the price, probably. They have concerns about, is this the best policy, right? They probably have concerns about, is my wife going to be on board? So imagine if someone told you, I need to speak to my wife, and you're like, all right, go ahead, and then you move forward. There are going to be concerns there. But to To stop getting chargebacks, your sales process, you must avoid the approval closes and learn how to sell the right way to make sure that you can handle these objections and to close people based off your skill set, okay? Now, the right way would sound like this, and I want to share with you what that means. So, Miss Betty tells you, I need to think about it, Peter. Okay, perfect. When you say that you need to think about it, is it more of the price, or are you just not sure if you need it? Right here. Is it more of the price, or are you just not sure if you need it? Okay? No, well, I know I need it, Peter. It's just more of the monthly premium. Okay? Gotcha. So it sounds to me that you value having life insurance, but you're just not sure if you can pay for it every month. That $61 is just a little too high. Yeah. Well, how about we do this? Let's start with the $51 option for the $8,000, and then once that gets comfortable for you, Miss Betty, we can always increase it. Does that sound fair for you? When she says yes, then you can move into the app. It's not just, I have a concern, approval closed. What I've done there is I've had a conversation. So the best objection handling is just having a simple conversation. Miss Betty, what are you struggling with? What's on your mind? Why don't you like this policy? What do you mean it's too much? When you say it's too much, what do you mean by that? Well, how about we do this? Does that sound fair? And you're coming to an agreement before you move into the application. Now, when you move into the application, here's the kicker. I'm going to give you guys some really good stuff that's helped change my business. Is what we're going to do is now set clear expectations on what the process looks like moving forward. So if you're getting banking objections, if you're getting social objections, if you're getting people hang up on you in the app, listen to this, okay? Now, when you move into the app, it's again all coming back to clear expectations. So what you're going to do is explain the process before you move into the application. So what you're going to do, set the clear date. It's going to sound like this. Now, before we go, I want to backtrack this. What we're going to do is once they pick the option is you're going to confirm affordability. Most clients cancel on final expense because it's too expensive. So confirm the affordability. Here's how that sounds. Miss Betty. So we're going to go with that $61.25. I want to make sure I'm an agent that's not taking any food off your table. Just so we're on the same page, will that $61 be not just comfortable for you now, but every month moving forward in the future? And I also want to make sure this is not taking any food off the table. Can you let me know? Oh no, Peter, it's going to be fine. Now, if she says, yeah, you're taking food off the table, do not just go into the application. Use that as a moment to stop, to pause, to refrain, and ask her, well, you want the life insurance, right? Well, how about we start with the lower option first, and then we can go ahead and increase it down the road. Does that sound fair? And then you guys agree upon the decision that's comfortable for her, that's not taking food off her table, and ultimately that she knows she can pay for, and then you move into the application. Don't just go for the approval close. Solve people's objections and then move in. Then when you're moving into the application, what you're going to do is you're going to set clear expectations of how the process works. Miss Betty, what we're going to do is we're going to take the application over the phone. This is how you stop getting objections in the applications. We're going to take the application over the phone. We're going to fill out the application on the Mutual Omaha website. We're then going to put your first name. We're going to put your beneficiaries. They're going to do a prescription check that's tied to your social. And then they're going to go ahead and set up your date of payment. What day do you want your first payment to come out of your account so that your family is protected with this life insurance? What day do you want your life insurance policy to come out of your account so that your family is taken care of? Oh, wait, I have to pay for it? I have to pay for this? What are you going to do now? Now your sales process is tested. Are you going to be an agent that just says, oh, okay, no, we just have to put an approval. We'll put a bank account, but we're not starting anything until it gets approved, okay? Or you're going to be an honest, transparent, and try to protect her family and say, yeah, Miss Betty, you said that when you die, your kids are going to be stuck with your burial expenses, right? In order to solve that problem, they do have to have a way to pay for a policy. So they do require that you do put on what's called a bank account, okay? What bank account do you want to use? You do have to pay for this. And then she can go ahead and tell you. So you're setting clear expectations in the process where you as the agent are not just pulling the wool over their eyes, moving into the application. Now, the third thing, I'll tilt my board up here, is going to be client, service, or retention. Okay, retention or service. Okay, it might be a little sloppy, but I just want to put it on the board just for just for giggles, right? So you sell someone a policy, right? What does your life look like after you sell a policy, right? Think about this. You just got online, maybe you got on, Facebook, right? Filled out a form and you spoke to someone who lives in a different state. You're 60, 70 years old. You've seen the scams around you. You've just signed up, given someone a bank account information, and now they hang up the phone and they have your credit card information and they have your social. Are you a little concerned? So how do you ease concerns? Here's a retention strategy that we use that you can steal, okay? First thing is after someone buys, within the first 5 minutes, they should be receiving an email and a text message from you explaining all the information that you went through, their policy number, their details, saying, hey, thank you for here. I'm always going to be here for you. Then on the retention side, what you should do and what we would focus on is, so that's the delivery of your promise. You're selling an invisible promise. So they just gave you, that eased their concern, that allows to reduce the rate of buyer's remorse because they had this feeling, you got them emotional, they're feeling great, but now they've just made a commitment to serve their loved ones, okay? And they have a policy. Then is that it? Is that what you're doing? The reason that you're getting placement is, what does that look like after, right? So, and then are you letting them know a day or 2 days before, hey, Miss Betty, your payment of $61 is coming out of your account in 2 days. Make sure you have the money there, right? That's a scary text, and a very scary text that took me a long time to put into our system, but I do it because I want to sell the right way. Or if I set expectations in my sales process and have clear expectations all throughout the process, that text message that goes out should not be worrisome. And if you are not confident right now as a life insurance agent in sending a text like that, then the problem is you're not setting clear enough expectations, and your sales process is terrible, and you're pulling wool over your eyes, and you're forcing people in the applications, probably with the approval close. So the question I ask you is, if you had to text the person that you just sold a policy in the next 3 days before their policy starts, do you feel comfortable? If no, fix your sales process. If yes, keep going. Great job. Okay. So we send them a text message 2 days before, and then on the date that their policy starts. Miss Betty, congratulations. Your policy to protect Jim Tom, your son, is now in force. Congratulations. And then after that, you should be following up and calling them, making sure, Miss Betty, this is Peter. I just reaching back to you, just making sure that your policy with SBLI kicked in. Did you get your policy? Thank you for falling back. Put that in a firebox, put that safe, so that you can make sure your family is taken care of. And that's the problem in this business, is that people typically don't know how to have a good sales process. They're always chasing approvals. They're trying to manage a business. They're trying to figure out lead flow. They're trying to make money. And at the end of the day, you know who gets screwed over? Our clients. And our clients aren't loved on. Our clients aren't served. Our clients aren't followed up. And then eventually they're just dusted when they cancel. Like, what did I do wrong? Why are they canceling? No, they're broke. That's not fair. They're poor. I can't sell people anything that are poor. No, you have a terrible sales process. You don't set clear expectations, and you have no client fulfillment. And then you're trying to solve the problem. But how if you love someone, serve someone, and actually had to make sure that their family was taken care of? How would you do that in your client retention process? And if you can fix that, and you can build systems, build times, and if you're a solo business owner right now, insurance agent, hey, maybe that's every Saturday instead of having coffee with my kids on a 6 o'clock or 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., maybe I wake up at 4:30 so that I can go ahead from 4:30 to 5:30, message all my clients, hit them a call, shoot them an email, shoot them a message that I sold this week, and then I can go ahead and have my coffee with my kids, waking up a little early to serve my clients because you made this promise to them. So if you fix this, guys, you'll stop your chargeback, set clear expectation, have a killer sales process that's clear, and then ultimately retain your clients through great customer success and fulfillment. You'll be able to make more money. If you guys like these style videos, you want more trainings like this, let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Cheers.